September 10th, 2025. Utah Valley University. It felt like any other morning in Orem, Utah. The sun was bright, students were laughing, backpacks slung over their shoulders, coffee cups in their hands. The campus buzzed with energy, not just because classes were beginning, but because a special event was about to unfold. Charlie Kirk was here. At just 31 years old, Kirk had already made himself a household name among conservatives. He was the founder of Turning Point USA, a movement that spread across American campuses, urging students to reject liberal ideas and embrace traditional values, capitalism, and free speech. To his supporters, he was a brave voice standing up against political correctness. To his critics, he was a provocateur who thrived on conflict and outrage. But whether you loved him or hated him, one thing was certain. Charlie Kirk knew how to command attention. That morning, hundreds of students gathered in anticipation. Posters had been pinned across the campus for weeks. "Prove me wrong." It was Kirk's signature format. He'd sit down, microphone in hand, and let anyone challenge him directly. Abortion, gun rights, cancel culture, immigration. Nothing was off limits. He thrived in the fire of debate. The crowd swelled as the clock ticked toward noon. Phones were out, TikTok lives were running, YouTube vloggers were streaming the scene. The room pulsed with energy, voices echoing against the walls. Students whispered predictions about what Kirk would say. Some planned to challenge him. Others just wanted to watch the fireworks. But above all the noise, beyond the chatter, another presence loomed. Unseen, silent, deadly. At 11:30 a.m., a figure climbed onto the rooftop of a nearby building. No one below noticed. No one suspected. From this vantage point, the crowd was a sea of faces, but the sniper's eye was locked on just one: Charlie Kirk. By 12:15, the debate was in full swing. Kirk leaned forward in his chair, voice booming through the speakers. His topic? Gun violence and the Second Amendment. The irony was chilling. He argued with passion, his hands slicing the air with conviction. Students jeered, others clapped, the atmosphere electric. And then, it happened. A sound. Not from the microphone, not from the crowd, but sharper, louder, final. One shot. The bullet tore through the air and struck Kirk in the neck. His body jerked, his eyes widened, and within seconds he collapsed against the table. Gasps erupted. Screams followed. Chaos engulfed the room. Students ducked, others stampeded toward the doors. Phones dropped, chairs toppled. Some froze in shock, watching blood spill across the stage. Others rushed to help. But the panic was unstoppable. Security scrambled, shouting commands. 911 calls flooded dispatch. Police sirens wailed in the distance. And on that rooftop, the sniper was already gone, slipping away like a shadow. The figure disappeared into the dense woods beyond campus. It was a clean escape, calculated, planned. Within hours, the FBI arrived, combing through every corner of the university. Sniffer dogs searched the forest. Drones scanned from above. Agents secured the rooftop, marking the exact spot where the shooter had lain in wait. The rifle shell was recovered, but the killer was already far away. That night, the nation watched in horror. Every news channel cut to breaking updates. Every feed on social media flooded with raw videos. Students had captured everything. The moment of the shot, the screams, Kirk collapsing. Clips slowed down frame by frame. Theories multiplied within minutes. Was it a lone wolf? A student radicalized online? Or was it bigger? A conspiracy aimed at silencing one of the most outspoken conservative voices in America. The FBI released grainy security footage, an indistinct figure sprinting through the trees. Tall, hooded, face obscured, and then Nothing. The trail went cold. A $100,000 reward was announced. Tip lines were opened. Thousands of calls poured in. Some claimed it was Antifa. Others swore it was a foreign agent. A few even insisted it was an inside job. The truth was lost in the noise. Meanwhile, the political world erupted. Donald Trump, speaking at a rally that same evening, called it an attack on freedom itself. Conservative media framed it as proof that anti-right extremism had spiraled out of control. On the other side, liberal commentators argued Kirk had built a career on divisive rhetoric, and that violence, while tragic, was the predictable result of the culture war he helped inflame. America split deeper. On one side, mourning, outrage, calls for justice. On the other, anger, denial, suspicion. Twitter, now X, burned like wildfire. Hashtags trending worldwide. But behind the politics, behind the noise, one fact remained. The killer was still out there. Charlie Kirk's death was not just a tragedy. It was a scar, a wound on the American psyche, a reminder of how fragile safety is when politics become war. The questions linger. Who pulled the trigger? Why that day, that place, that moment? Was it revenge? A warning? Or something even darker? The investigation continues. The reward still stands. The mystery remains unsolved. And for now, America waits. Waits for answers. Waits for justice. Waits to see whether this will be remembered as one man's death, or the moment the nation's divide became permanent.